it's happened effectively since January 20th, when he, front ran his trade team in the Oval Office that night, said tariffs were coming February 1st, immediately pushed that out to February 4th, kicked it to March, kicked it to later in March, and now here we are on the cusp of the week where we're going to get steel and aluminum tariffs, both at 25%, tariffs on dairy and lumber coming in from Canada, which are going to be massively disruptive and get huge pushback from the home builder industry. I think there's going to be a continued, probably 4-year-long fits and starts on the trade front.
4-year long.
Oh, great.
She's depressing.
Yeah, she is.
I need some tang.
So, I mean, Henrietta, should we expect any type of discussion, rhetoric, commentary from our good friends in Congress about global trade?
Yeah, I think that that's going to tick up. One of the things that's really noticeable to me in this Republican bill, you were talking about the prospects for a shutdown earlier, there's no bailout for farmers in this package. And if this bill passes, that effectively means there won't be any further subsidization of the U.S. agriculture industry until late September. That's a really long time to weather what is about to be a 15% tariff from China on all of our agriculture sector, and then tariffs on $86 billion worth of goods, mostly pork and beef, fruits and vegetables, orange juice, things like that, right, from Canada as soon as March 25th. So there's a big headwind coming the agriculture sector's way, and that's going to start to spur members to start talking back.
What is the response of Henrietta Treyz's Washington to economic slowdown, sort of kind of like recession, or actual National Bureau of Economic Research recession?
Man, this was incredible data sets from President Trump over the weekend, effectively acknowledging that the $5 trillion in tax preferences that the Republican Party is writing right now, will not be stimulative, will not be enough to offset the potentiality of a recession driven by global tariffs for the first time since the 1930s. So I think that was a real showing of President Trump's hands and the cards that he's hearing from his economic advisors behind the scenes.
Henrietta, I was thinking about just the political calculus associated with tariffs. If I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, okay, maybe I'm not a farmer, and there's maybe, a handful of big farming conglomerates in Des Moines, Iowa, but everybody in Des Moines, Iowa, in some way, shape, or form is kind of impacted by the health of the farms in Des Moines, Iowa. How is this politically doable for President Trump and his administration? I would think it would be very difficult for them.
You know what's interesting? I feel like it's doable for Trump and the administration because he personally is so popular. Who it's not doable for is the House and Senate Republicans. So I would take Alaska as a perfect example. You have states like Alaska that are heavily federally subsidized, whose veterans are being fired. 331 veterans just in Alaska alone already from DOGE before they even get to this big sweep of 80,000 veterans they're planning to fire and the big sweep of federal employees they're planning to fire over the summer. You have these individual senators and individual House members in swing districts or those votes that have gone back and forth. And those members are already illustrating that they can't weather the storm. They've canceled town halls. Democrats are sort of gleefully pointing that out and holding their own so that those disaffected voters come and speak. I don't think that it's a problem for Trump. I think it's a problem for the rest of the Republican conference. And that means they have a year to get their legislation enacted, and then they'll get shellacked in the midterms, which is normal.
Henrietta, quickly here, the Washington Post talks about firefighter training at FEMA canceled. Bloomberg's got stories of this, that, and the other canceled. This in Forbes, aviation safety at risk among DOGE cuts. Is that true? Do you perceive that the cuts are drifting into airplanes landing at Denver?
That is absolutely true. It's definitely the FAA. I mean, they're cutting everything from that to the Weather Service. So yes, it's across the board, indiscriminate, completely ad hoc, and inconsistent. And then even adding to the uncertainty, there's reporting out this morning saying, hey, give us your personal email address and your personal cell phone address so we can call you if we mistakenly fired you. So I think there's just a lot of disruption. The jobs reports numbers are going to be a real up and down for the next couple months.